My beloved child, I am speaking to you right now. These words are not appearing by chance. This moment was not created by accident. I have arranged every step so this message would reach your heart at the exact time you needed it. Pay careful attention, because what I have promised you cannot be stolen, cannot be undone, and cannot disappear. If I have spoken it, it will come to pass. If I have declared it over your life, it is already making its way toward you. Maybe today your heart feels empty. The dream you held so tightly did not unfold the way you expected. The door you believed would open closed before you could step through it. The answer you waited for never seemed to arrive, and in the silence of your heart you have quietly asked, "Did I miss my moment? Did you not hear my prayers?" My child, receive this truth with all that is within you. You have not lost what I have prepared for you. If it has not reached you yet, it is only because the right time has not yet arrived. And if something was removed from your life, it was never part of the future I planned for you. Think about a seed resting beneath the soil. For many days, even weeks, nothing appears to change. The ground looks exactly the same. Your eyes cannot see any difference. Yet below the surface, where no one is looking, life is already at work. The roots stretch deeper. Growth is quietly beginning. Then, when the proper time comes, a tender shoot rises through the earth and reaches toward the light. That is the way my promises unfold. You may not see anything yet. Waiting may still hurt. But beneath what you cannot see, something is already growing. What belongs to you will arrive because I have already placed it in your future. Do not confuse delay with abandonment. Do not believe the lie that, because it has taken longer than you expected, it will never happen. Every tear you have shed, every lonely night, every prayer you lifted toward heaven, I have gathered them all. I have treasured each one in my hands. And at the right time, I will turn them into answers you can finally hold. Perhaps you lost something that meant everything to you. A job, a relationship, an opportunity that slipped away. You have wondered why it ended, why it failed, why that door closed so completely. Today I tell you, stop grieving over what I have already shut. What I closed because I love you. What I removed for your protection. And what I am bringing toward you is far better than what you left behind. Hear me well. Whatever was not meant to remain could never truly belong to you. But what I have chosen for you cannot be stopped. This message has reached you for a reason. It is more than words passing before your eyes. It is a reminder flowing from my heart into yours. It is the answer you have been asking me for. It is my voice gently saying, "My child, be at peace. I am still leading you. My plans never fail. What belongs to you will come. My beloved, I was the one who found you when you were at your lowest. I lifted you up when no one noticed your tears. I strengthened you when others had already given up on you. I am the one who provides for you. I gave you the breath that fills your lungs. Even now, I am the reason there is food before you and life within you. I chose you before the beginning of the world." So many people begin believing a lie. The lie that I no longer remember them. That perhaps no promise was ever meant for their life. That nothing will ever change and the struggle will never end. That is the hardest part of waiting. It is not only the passing of time, but the fear that everything has been meaningless. If this describes where you are today, know this. You are not walking through it alone. Many listening to these words are standing in the same valley, carrying the same questions, facing the same sleepless nights, hiding the same tears. You are not the only one who has almost given up, and let me remind you of something you may never have heard. There is nothing wrong with becoming tired. Feeling pain while you wait does not mean your faith has failed. You are human, and I understand that completely. I see every tear, every thought, every moment of exhaustion. And instead of pulling away because you are weary, I come even closer to carry you. The greatest danger is believing that delay means refusal. You may think that because the answer has not appeared, I have already said no, but that is not always the truth. What feels like silence is often simply, not yet, and not yet is never punishment, it is protection. It is love at work. It is the quiet way I arrange every detail, so that when your promise arrives, it comes complete, peaceful, and whole. Think about a child asking over and over for something with all their heart. A loving parent does not refuse because they do not want to give it. They wait because the child is not ready yet, not mature enough, not prepared to carry such a gift wisely. That is how I care for you. What belongs in your hands will come when you are ready to receive it. When your life is prepared and the moment is exactly right. I already know the question inside your heart. How much longer? Why does everything seem to take so much time? That question carries some of the deepest pain. Watching the years move on while your dream seems frozen. But listen carefully. Waiting is never empty. It is a season where I shape who you are and strengthen your spirit, so that when the promise reaches you, you will know how to receive it, how to care for it, and how to keep it without losing it again. I know this season is difficult. Waiting can drain your heart. Comparing yourself to others can steal your peace. Faith can sometimes feel as if it is slipping away. But this truth never changes. Even when your faith feels weak, I remain faithful. Even when your strength fades, my promises never change. Even when tears fill your nights, my plan for your life remains steady. Waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. And although it hurts, although it feels slow, although it seems like it will never end, that very season is evidence that what you are hoping for is real. When it finally arrives, you will know with complete certainty that I placed it into your hands. Declare your amen if you believe this is true for your life. My child, there is a quiet enemy that often appears while you are waiting. It rarely comes with loud noise. It does not always announce itself with great force. Many times it slips in quietly, hidden inside a simple thought, a comparison, or a whisper that sounds like your own mind even though it is not. That enemy is doubt, and it walks closely with fear and comparison. Doubt enters when time keeps passing without the answer appearing. It whispers, "Have I been forgotten? What if it never happens? What if this promise was only something I imagined?" Little by little, almost without you noticing, doubt begins to wear away your trust, just as rust slowly weakens metal. Its greatest danger is not only making you question the promise, it makes you question the one who gave it. Fear is another enemy, and many times it hides behind what looks like careful thinking. But the truth is, it only keeps you from moving. Fear tells you that you will not be able to carry what is ahead. It whispers that if the promise finally comes, you will not be prepared. It says that if you try one more time, you will only fail again. It is that quiet voice that keeps you awake in the night saying, "Stop trying. There is no point anymore." Fear also has another purpose. It tries to make you forget every good thing I have already done in your life. It causes you to overlook the times I provided, the times I answered you, and the moments when I made a way. Then there is comparison, quiet but deeply cutting. When you watch someone else receive the very thing you have been praying for while you continue waiting, sadness can slowly settle into your heart, hiding jealousy beneath it. You begin asking yourself, why them instead of me? What do they have that I do not? Comparison is dangerous because it steals your thankfulness while feeding disappointment. It makes you forget that I work with every person personally, that your season is different from theirs, and that what I prepared for you carries your name alone. The enemy's plan is very simple. If he cannot stop the promise I have made, he will try to convince you to quit before it arrives. If he cannot change what I have already planned, he will try to persuade you that waiting is pointless. His desire is for you to lay aside your faith and stop trusting, because he knows that as long as you continue believing, my purpose keeps moving ahead. You may have already noticed that this battle usually begins in your thoughts. One morning you wake up full of hope, and by the next day discouragement quietly enters. One day you boldly say, "I know this will happen." The next day you wonder whether there is any reason to keep praying. That changing battle inside you does not mean you are weak. It means you are standing in a real battle for your faith. And every true battle can be won when you stand on the truth I have spoken. The shield of faith is able to stop every burning arrow sent against you. Not just a few, every one of them. Every doubt, every fear, every comparison, every thought that tells you you are defeated can be put out by that shield. Faith is more than a feeling. It is a choice. It is raising that shield and saying, even when I see nothing, I will continue believing. Even when waiting is painful, I will continue trusting. Even when my thoughts tell me something different, I choose to hold tightly to what you have spoken. This battle is real, and much of it happens where no one else can see. Those around you may never know what is happening inside you, while your heart struggles between hope and despair, trust and doubt, faith and fear. But hear this truth. If you are fighting that battle today, it is because your promise is real and your future is important. The enemy does not waste his strength fighting what has no value. He fights what carries purpose. So if your mind has been attacked by fear, doubt, and comparison, do not take it as proof that you are losing. Instead, see it as evidence that something meaningful is drawing near. The enemy does not waste his effort on empty things. If the battle feels fierce, it is because what I have prepared for you is too valuable for him to leave alone. Listen carefully. Your fearful thoughts do not decide what lies ahead. My word over your life does. Fear cannot stop what I have promised. Comparison cannot erase what I have already written. Doubt cannot destroy what heaven has already spoken. As long as you keep choosing faith, even when your heart shakes, even through your tears, even when you stumble, my purpose for your life will still be fulfilled. So do not pretend the battle is not there. Recognize it. Then fight it with the right weapons. When you understand that those thoughts are not coming from me, you can stop them before they weaken your faith. And each time you lift your shield, every arrow, every lie, every whisper trying to pull you away from your promise loses its power. Keep this deep inside your heart. What belongs to you is still coming. But while it is on its way, voices will try to tell you that waiting is useless. Refuse to listen. Instead, listen to the voice that has carried you until now. The voice that says, my child, my work in your life is not finished. I have seen every tear you cried when no one else was there. I know every burden you quietly carry. I know the thoughts that steal your sleep at night. What seems impossible to you is never impossible for me. Where people only notice the problem, I already see the answer. I see what is pressing on your heart today. I see your concerns about your health, the pressure on your finances, the struggles inside your family, the fears you keep hidden, and the questions you whisper to me when no one else is around. I brought you to this very moment. If you need wisdom, peace, and clear direction for everything you are facing, come close to me. Let my words speak to your heart one page at a time until you receive exactly what you need. My child, I want to take you through a story that may remind you of your own journey. It is the story of a young man who discovered through great pain that what truly belongs to someone will arrive, even if many years pass first. While he was still young, I gave him dreams, showing that one day he would stand in a place of honor, where even those closest to him would one day look upon him with respect. Imagine how full of hope that young heart must have been after receiving such a vision. But instead of rejoicing with him, those closest to him became jealous. They betrayed him and sold him away, as though his life had no value. What seemed like the beginning of a wonderful promise suddenly became the start of a long season of suffering. Perhaps you understand that feeling. Holding tightly to a dream while facing betrayal, injustice, or being forgotten by the very people who should have stood beside you. He was taken into a foreign country and became a servant in the home of an important ruler. There he served faithfully and honestly. Yet false accusations were made against him, and he was thrown into prison. Think about that for a moment. He had received a promise that he would be lifted high. Yet he found himself locked inside a prison cell. In that lonely place, surrounded by silence, he surely wondered, "Where are the dreams you gave me? Was it all only my imagination?" Many nights he probably cried quietly, just as you may have done, asking why the promise still seemed so far away. But this is the truth, my child. Even when he could not see what I was doing, I was already working behind the scenes, preparing every detail for the moment everything would come together. Then, after many years, one unexpected event changed everything. A king received dreams that no one could explain. At that very moment, someone remembered the forgotten prisoner who had been given the gift of understanding dreams. He was brought out of the prison and led directly into the palace. In a single day, he went from being an overlooked prisoner to standing in a place of great authority. Do you understand what I am telling you? What I have prepared for you will reach you, even if it takes time. The dream I placed in that young man's heart was fulfilled completely. The very people who had betrayed him years before eventually stood before him, without realizing that the man holding such great authority was the same brother they had rejected. Everything happened exactly as I had promised, because my promises are never empty. I did not preserve that story in my words simply to tell you about the past. I placed it there so you would remember that even if today you feel trapped inside a prison called waiting, even if the days seem endless, even if everything around you tells you otherwise, what I have spoken over your life has never been canceled. You may not see what I am doing, but I have already prepared the day when your prison will become your palace. And that young man was not the only one. Think about the man who waited many years before the child I promised was finally placed into his arms, still believing even when everything seemed impossible. Think about the young shepherd I chose to become future king while he was still a boy, yet who first walked through years of danger, hardship, and hiding before stepping into the place I had prepared. Think about the woman who cried before me, because she could not have the child she longed for until the day I answered her, and gave her a son whose life would shape the future of an entire nation. Every one of those lives included waiting. Everyone knew pain. Everyone faced moments when it looked as though I had forgotten them. Yet in every story the promise arrived, and it came so clearly that no one could deny my hand had done it. Maybe today you feel like that young man sitting in prison, like someone holding tightly to a promise that still has not appeared, like the one hiding while the waiting grows longer, like the woman pouring out her heart without yet seeing the answer. Perhaps you are standing where nothing seems to make sense, and the pain feels stronger than the hope inside you. But listen to me. Your story does not end in this season of waiting. Just as my promise came to them, it will also come to you. I do not speak lies, and my timing never fails. Even if your road is covered with tears, the day is coming when you will see with your own eyes the harvest of everything you have endured. On that day you will look back, just as that young man did, and say, "Now I understand why I had to walk through all of it. I was being prepared for something much greater than I ever imagined." I want you to hold tightly to this today. Nothing you are walking through right now is being wasted. No season of waiting is empty. It is preparation. It is the hidden growth of roots before the tree rises for everyone to see. And just as it happened for those who walked before you, it will happen for you, because what belongs to you will arrive carrying the mark of heaven at exactly the right moment. Declare your amen if you believe that I am still writing your story. My beloved, when the waiting becomes long and your faith begins to feel weak, words alone are not enough. You need spiritual habits that keep your heart steady every single day. While the promise is moving toward you, your heart needs something strong enough to hold on to. I have already given you gifts that strengthen your spirit and remind you that you never walk alone. The first is faithful prayer. Prayer is not an empty habit. It is the breath of your spirit. Pray continually and never lose heart. Prayer is like lighting a lamp in the darkness. Your situation may not change immediately, but your heart will. As you pray, your burdens grow lighter, your spirit becomes calm, and your faith is renewed. If you are unsure what to say, simply speak to me as you would speak to someone who truly hears you. Tell me everything that is inside you, your tiredness, your hurt, even your doubts. I hear every word, and I answer. Even a few honest words whispered before you sleep, or soon after you wake, can lift the weight you have been carrying. The second gift is reading and thinking deeply about my word. You do not have to read many pages before your heart becomes stronger. Sometimes one verse hidden inside your heart is enough to carry you through your hardest days. Let those words settle within you slowly. Do not rush them. Let them soak into your heart the way rain sinks into dry soil. Carry one truth through the day and return to it each time worry tries to take hold. The third gift is worship. Worship is more than singing songs to me. It is opening your heart and honoring me before the answer has arrived. Worship changes the atmosphere around you. When you lift your hands and say, "Even though I cannot see it yet, I still honor you," your spirit rises above discouragement. Remember those who sang while they were still in chains, and how those chains were broken through worship. Worship opens doors no human hand can open. It releases what has long been locked inside your heart. The fourth gift is quietness before me. Yes, quietness. Many people think faith always has to be loud, but faith also knows how to listen. There was a prophet who discovered that my voice was not found in the powerful wind, not in the earthquake, and not in the fire, but in a gentle whisper. Create quiet moments throughout your day. Step away from the noise for a little while. Lay aside your distractions and your worries and simply listen. In that quiet place I speak, and my words fill your soul with peace. The fifth gift is writing down your faith. Write your prayers. Write my promises. Write your dreams. Write the vision clearly so it can be read again and again. When you write what I have spoken into your heart, you help it take deeper root. As time passes and you watch those words become reality, your faith grows stronger still. Now, my child, listen carefully because I want to place something important before you. I ask you to answer me today with more than words. Take from what I have placed in your hands, your provision, your seed, and lay it before me upon the altar. Just as a farmer places precious seed into the earth with confidence, trust me through your giving. Let your offering become a declaration that you believe I am the God who multiplies every gift placed before me in faith. Place your seed where your faith already stands, and watch how heaven answers. When a child cries before falling asleep, when a family is surrounded by trouble, when a difficult diagnosis weighs heavily on the heart, when every answer seems to have disappeared, that is often the very moment I come closest. I am the one who said, "Do not be afraid, because this battle is not yours. It belongs to me." You were never created to carry these burdens alone. Do not wait until the weight becomes even greater before coming to me. Come now exactly as you are, and receive the peace I have already prepared for you. Perhaps quietly reading a few verses or softly singing a song of worship can become part of your daily life. Do these things with a sincere heart, because these simple acts keep your heart steady through the waiting. You do not need to do anything extraordinary. A quiet word of thanks during an ordinary afternoon, a few peaceful moments before you begin your work, or a gentle song whispered while you go about your day. Every one of these reaches my heart just as surely as the loudest prayer ever spoken. I do not measure your faith by how loud it sounds. I look at the honesty of your heart. Never forget this, my beloved. What I promised is still on its way. And while you wait, your hands are not empty. You have not been left without help. I have already given you prayer, my word, worship, quietness, and the practice of writing down your faith. Each one reminds you that I am carrying you through this season of waiting. I will never let you fall. Even on the days when you feel too weak for any of these, when you have no strength and no words left to pray, Simply sitting quietly before me is enough. I see your effort. I treasure the heart that keeps coming to me, even when all it can do is be present. My child, there is great strength in remembering the stories already written in my word that reveal how I work for those who patiently wait for me. Think about the woman who carried a deep desire in her heart for many years, a longing that seemed to go unanswered. More than anything, she wanted a child. Yet year after year that desire remained unfulfilled. Others received what she longed for, and their words, whether intended or not, became a source of deep sorrow. Each passing season brought the same sadness, the same emptiness, and the same unanswered prayer. She held that pain inside for a long time until one day, in the place of worship, she could no longer keep it hidden. She poured out her heart before me with such deep sorrow that her lips moved, yet no sound could be heard. In that moment she made a promise that if I remembered her, she would dedicate the gift I gave her back to my service. A priest nearby saw her grief and blessed her, telling her to leave in peace because the God of Israel would grant her request. She left that place. And I want you to notice something. Nothing around her had changed except one thing. The burden in her heart was gone. She walked away filled with peace before she ever held the answer, because she had finally placed the full weight of her longing into my hands. And in the right time, I remembered her. The son she had waited for was given to her, and she gave him a name that would forever remind her, and everyone after her, that I had heard her cry. When the time came, she kept her promise. She brought the son she had prayed for, and gave him back to me so he could serve in my house according to my purpose. And through that one child, I changed the future of an entire nation. He became my voice before kings and before all Israel throughout his life. I tell you this story, my child, not so you compare your waiting with hers, but so you can understand how I work. Those years of asking were never wasted. The tears she shed in worship were never forgotten. The moment she placed her sorrow completely into my hands, before the answer had even come, was the moment everything began to change. What I gave her became far greater than she first imagined, because whatever I plant in faithful hearts always grows beyond the first request. Perhaps what you carry is not the longing for a child. Perhaps it is healing, restoration, an opportunity that has remained closed, or a dream you no longer speak about. But the lesson remains unchanged. When you bring me your whole heart, your tears, your years of waiting, and trust me with whatever comes next, I begin to move. And what I bring out of that surrender will always be greater than what you placed into my hands. Perhaps your story is not about a child. Perhaps you are waiting for meaningful work, a restored relationship, healing in your body, peace within your family, or an answer you have quietly carried in your heart for years. But the lesson is still the same. When you choose trust, continue walking by faith, and place your worries into my hands, what belongs to you will arrive. Now I want to ask you something. What would happen if today you chose to wait the way she waited? What would happen if, even before seeing any change, you began declaring that what belongs to you is coming? The change does not begin on the day the promise appears. It begins the moment you decide to believe that I have not forgotten you. Even before anything changes around you, there is a quiet courage that grows when you choose to trust again after disappointment. In some ways it may seem easier to stop hoping, to protect your heart by expecting nothing at all. But I am not asking you to deny your pain. I am asking you to place that very pain into my hands and allow it to become the ground where new life can begin. The same place that once seemed empty can become the place where life rises again, when it is entrusted to me. Keep this close to your heart, my beloved. If I changed her story and gave her what once seemed impossible, I can also change yours. Your story is not over, and the words I have spoken over your life have not been forgotten. Trust me, because what belongs to you will come. Perhaps your heart is carrying more hope now than when you first began listening. You are beginning to understand that what is yours will come. You are seeing that waiting is not the same as losing. And through the lives of those who came before you, you are seeing how waiting always gave way to fulfilled promises. If you are still hoping for something you have carried for a long time, speak these words with me now. I will not give up, because what belongs to me is on its way. My beloved, faith was never meant to remain hidden in silence. Faith is also meant to be spoken. It is meant to be declared and carried into the world around you. When you speak words of trust, even softly, even if only you hear them, you allow that truth to settle more deeply inside your own heart. Think for a moment about someone, somewhere tonight, who feels ready to give up. Someone who cried themselves to sleep believing there was no hope left. Then, at exactly the right moment, the right words reach them. This is how I work. One simple word spoken in faith can become hope for someone else. So today I invite you to declare this over your own life. What belongs to me will come. Speak it not only to remind yourself, but as a banner of faith over your life. Let it become a quiet promise between you and me. A sign that you have chosen to keep believing while you continue to wait. Say it in the morning before your day begins. Say it again at night when the day comes to an end. Let it become part of your daily rhythm. Something your spirit returns to naturally, just as every breath comes again without effort. As you speak these words, remember the people who are close to your heart as well. Think of those you love, those carrying hidden burdens, those who may never ask anyone to pray for them, yet need it just as deeply. Speak this same hope over their lives too. When you do this, you are doing more than praying only for yourself. You become part of something much greater. A quiet family of believers in many different places, all holding on to the same truth at the same time, lifting one another without ever knowing each other's names. There is great strength in a community joined together by faith, even if that community cannot be seen, even if it is made up of people living far apart who may never meet. Every person who chooses to trust adds courage to someone else. None of you were meant to carry these burdens alone. Even in your quietest hours, when it seems no one understands your struggle, you are connected to others walking a similar path. Together, that quiet faith becomes stronger than any one person could carry alone. I want you to notice the value of small things. A quiet prayer whispered to me. A moment when you choose to encourage someone instead of remaining silent. A simple word of hope given to someone carrying a heavy heart. These may seem small in your eyes, but they are never small to me. I often use ordinary things to accomplish what seems impossible. The small step of faith you take today may be exactly what helps another person keep going for one more day. So do not hide what I have placed inside your heart. If you feel led to encourage someone, then encourage them. If you feel led to pray for someone by name, then pray. If you know that a gentle word could lift someone's burden, then speak it. These are not empty actions. They are spiritual acts. Every time you choose to give hope to another person, you are saying, I believe, I trust, I will keep waiting, and I want others to receive this same hope as well. My beloved, never overlook what seems small. I use small things to accomplish great things. A simple kindness, an honest prayer, or a quiet word of encouragement can become the very thing someone needed most on that exact day. The world may pass by those quiet moments without noticing them, but I never do. Every one of them is precious to me. Look honestly at the burden waiting has placed upon you. Recognize the enemy that tries to steal your hope. Remember the gifts I have already given you to remain strong. Prayer, my word, worship, quietness, and writing down your faith. Keep this truth close to your heart every single day. I have not forgotten you. What belongs to you will come. Maybe right now you cannot see anything. Maybe everything around you feels dry like a desert, and your heart feels tired. But listen carefully, because these are not only human words. They are promises that reach across every distance, and every season to meet you exactly where you are. The plans I have for you are filled with peace and not harm. They are plans to give you the future you have been hoping for. I already know how the story you are waiting on will end. There is no confusion with me, no delay and no uncertainty. My timing never fails. My purpose never changes. My faithfulness never runs out. When what I have prepared finally reaches your hands, you will understand that every tear, every quiet season, and every sleepless night became part of the path that led you to your breakthrough. Hold this truth deep inside your heart. What belongs to you already carries your name. No one else can claim it. No one can steal it. No one can cancel it. It remains safely in my hands until the perfect time for it to appear. And when it comes, you will know without question that it came from me. My precious child, listen with more than your ears. Let these words settle deeply into your spirit. Inside you is a place that always recognizes truth. No matter how loud the world becomes, my voice does not fade away. It has remained with you long before you knew you were searching for me. What appears to you as separate moments without meaning has always been joined together by my purpose. Every part of your life fits into a plan that stretches from the beginning all the way to the end. I knew you completely before your very first breath. That truth is the foundation holding you steady today. Perhaps you once believed your life was ordinary, nothing special, nothing worth noticing. But I tell you that even in your quietest seasons, I was speaking to you. I do not always reveal myself through great signs. Many times I speak through a gentle movement inside your spirit, a quiet invitation that cannot always be explained by reason. This is how I reach you, just as I once reached someone long ago through a gentle whisper instead of through wind, earthquakes, or fire. You are learning to recognize me, not through dramatic signs, but through the quiet awakening of your spirit. Know this, my beloved child. You are here by my purpose. This moment between us was prepared long before the beginning of the time, within a relationship where nothing separates us. Here we meet in honesty and truth. I am leading you away from the darkness of uncertainty into the clear light of understanding. You are becoming someone who is no longer only searching, but someone I have personally called by name. Remember the young servant long ago who rested quietly and heard a voice calling him, yet believed it belonged to someone else. Only when he answered, "Here I am," did he understand who was speaking. I am doing the same work inside you. There were times when you believed what you felt came only from circumstances, your own emotions, or the words of other people. But I am making your spirit more sensitive so you can recognize my voice above every other voice, trying to influence your life. Your life was never meant to become an endless cycle without purpose. I created you for a purpose already prepared ahead of you. I did not bring you this far to leave you wandering. I have already prepared the path where I am leading you. You are here with purpose. Even now, what joins us is no longer only an idea. It is becoming a living truth inside your spirit, like something hidden for a long time slowly coming into the light, one piece after another. I do not speak to you from far away. I speak right where you are, inside the quietness you once believed held nothing. But silence has never meant I was gone. Most often it is the place I prepare so my voice can be received more clearly. As this becomes clearer to you, the things that once confused you will become signs pointing you forward. My invitation is not for you to step away from life, but to step fully into it with an awakened heart and open eyes. You will no longer go through life asking yourself, "Do I really belong here?" Instead, a quiet confidence will grow inside you. You have always belonged. You have always been known and held by me. From this place of understanding, the way you live, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself will naturally begin to change. This is not about becoming a different person. It is about fully becoming the person you were always created to be. Rest more deeply now, my beloved. In that place of rest, I am changing the way you see yourself. You are not forgotten. You are not trapped. You are not wandering. You are being led toward the very moment of your awakening. My precious child, keep moving forward, not with fear, but with the confidence that I knew you long before you ever started looking for me. Now that these words have settled inside your heart, do not let them become only a passing moment. Let them become the beginning of a new way of living, where you no longer chase after my voice but rest in the steady truth that it has always been with you. Do not quickly believe that the changes taking place inside you are strange or mistaken. I see every quiet change happening within your spirit, and I promise you, nothing is coming apart. Old layers are simply being lifted away so something new can be firmly placed inside the purpose I prepared for you. Some changes shake both what can be seen and what cannot. Not to destroy, but to protect what will remain and remove what no longer belongs. A deep work is taking place inside you. It is something your natural thoughts cannot completely understand. But the spirit I have awakened within you is beginning to recognize it. There may be moments when you feel uncertain, as though the things that once gave you stability are slipping away. But I tell you, this is not proof that something is wrong. It is evidence that I am leading you into a deeper understanding. Hear this well. I am doing something new, and it has already begun. Can you feel it? This is not a season of small changes. It is a complete renewal from the inside outward. You are not breaking apart, my precious one. You are being made new. You are not being led the wrong way. You are being placed exactly where you were meant to be. These changes within you are not meant to make you fall. They are establishing you on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Let your spirit rest now and stop resisting what is happening within you. I know there are moments when you want to step back, because you question whether what you feel is real or only your imagination. But I assure you that this is not something you created by yourself. This awakening comes from the one who knew you long before you ever knew yourself. Before your life ever began, I set you apart for a unique purpose. That purpose still stands, untouched by time and untouched by the doubts of human thinking. I know your hesitation. You wonder if you are enough, if your path is somehow mistaken, if this deep stirring is only temporary. But I speak to you now with truth that does not change. What I have spoken is true, and you are not walking through an empty dream. When my words reach your spirit, it responds not because of fear, but because it remembers the one who formed it from the very beginning. There may be moments when tears come for reasons you cannot explain. That is your spirit remembering what your mind no longer remembers. A holy awakening is taking place within you. You may ask why this is happening now. My answer is found in the perfect timing that only I fully understand. The season has arrived. This is no longer the season of waiting quietly. It is the season of revealing. Everything you held onto through those silent years was never wasted. It was strengthening you deep within. Now that new movement has begun, I am not concerned that you will lose your footing. I have already rooted you more deeply than anything your eyes could ever measure. The strength I placed inside you, like a calm and flowing river, will never run dry. Everything your hands are called to do will prosper, because it reflects who you are becoming through the new path I have opened before you. My beloved child, receive my peace into your heart. Let the heaviness leave. Let the confusion become quiet. Let the waiting reach its end. I am your guide, and I never fail. The path before you is clear. My presence is your peace. Move forward now. Release everything that no longer belongs with you and step fully into everything I have prepared ahead of you. The darkness is passing, and a new day has already begun. Walk forward in the light of this new beginning. It is a light that never grows dim and a warmth that never fades. You are nearer than you realize, and I remain with you through every step you take. Declare your amen and walk forward in peace, for I am with you always. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.